I would like to move on to what you've all been waiting for, to hear from Mayor Joe Henry for the State of the City for 2017. Mayor Joe Henry is in his second term as the mayor. Previous to his start as being mayor in the last 2 years, he was a city councilor for 2 years. He, along with other members of the council, are volunteers. He serves in this capacity because he loves this city and wants it to be the best place to live, work, and play. So please join me in welcoming our esteemed mayor, Mayor Joe Henry, to the stage.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone.
Nice tie.
Thank you. You don't have to salute the tie. Unfortunately, I have to wear glasses this year. 2 years ago, I didn't have to wear glasses. So. What a video. We truly are a city in motion. As Aaron mentioned, that video will be up on our website, hopefully on the Facebook page. If 100 of you share it with 100 of your friends, and get them to share it with 100 of them, that would be 100,000 people that would see that video in the next 5 days. Wouldn't that be awesome? Well, thank you, Aaron, for that introduction, and to our event center staff for hosting this event, and especially to Bettina for that wonderful welcome, and for your efforts in the last year to promote Florence as a premier coastal community and a place to do business. With your leadership, the Florence Area Chamber of Commerce and your great staff have continued to be a very valuable partner to the city of Florence. In early 2015, a new council took over and created a city work plan that based on 7 city council goals and our city mission statement. Early on, we talked about our dream of being a city in motion and all the things that we were going to do. As you know, it's always easy to talk about the things that you're going to do. Well, in 2016, we streamlined our work plan down to 5 goals, and you've heard us talk about those many times. After seeing the video and hearing from me tonight, you're going to see that our dream is no longer just a dream. Instead, it's a daily reality that has turned into action and results. We're making significant progress on the city's work plan. The success that we have experienced as a city is a direct result of the change in the culture of our city, and especially the support of our community. Excuse me. The Florence City Council is entering their 3rd year together. My position as mayor and the 2 council positions ran unopposed in the November election. And I believe that is can only mean one of 2 things. Either people are relatively happy with what's going on in the city, or you've just given up and there's no hope. Well, today I'm pleased to tell you that we can truly say we are a city in motion. So let's look at some of the achievements. Tonight I'm going to try to highlight a few of the achievements from 2016, and we're going to have plenty of pictures because a picture is always worth 1,000 words. We're also going to talk about what's next for 2017. The coming year is action-packed with several once-in-a-generation projects planned for the city of Florence. So I'm going to talk about our goals. There's 5 goals that we talked about. And the first one is city service delivery. That's the one that we all expect. We estimate that over 90% of the city's budget goes to operating the various city services. And therefore, 90% of our efforts are focused along the same direction. And it would also be appropriate for me to spend 90% of my time talking about those things. Unfortunately, we mostly expect that all of those things are just going to happen every day. We expect those services to be there. When you turn on the faucet, you expect water to come out. And if you flush the toilet, you expect something positive to happen. We want streets to drive on and somebody to answer the 911 calls, and for the police to keep our community safe and so forth. So I won't spend 90% of the time talking about that. So what I want to do is look at some achievements in this particular area that are really exciting. Our Rhododendron Drive multi-use path is nearly complete. And we have started Rhody Drive Phase 2, which is one of our major capital projects. And that's the piece from 9th Street down to 101. And if you've been down there, you know they're working on it pretty hard, if you can get through there. Well, in the very near future, according to Mike Miller, wherever he's at, we're going to hold a ribbon cutting event for that awesome addition to our community. And we're going to invite a whole lot of dignitaries from all over the place because it's a big project for our community. Through the sheer determination and creativeness of Mike Miller, this is going to get done. And it's been a long time coming. My personal goal is to begin to look for ways to extend those improvements further north on Rhoda Drive, Denton Drive, hopefully as far as Cedar Beach Road at some time in the future. We evaluated and planned for several once-in-a-generation projects. Thanks to our city projects manager, Megan Mesmer, who is over here somewhere, we're going to be able to accomplish these projects on budget and on time. We have designed and completed land use activities and plans for construction in 2017 for our new public works facility on Kingwood. So if you get a chance, go over there and take a look. Our City Hall expansion and remodel project is on the drawing board. This will include plans to complete the Justice Center round room, which is that nice glass piece on the Justice Center that nobody uses. It's been sitting there a long time, and we're going to get around to putting it to use. A special thanks to our Chief Tom Turner and his support for the return of the school resource officer position in our community. His efforts resulted in a 50-50 funding partnership with Siuslaw School District, made even sweeter with the first 3 years being paid for in part by a COPS grant. We've added to the police department's fleet. He's got the Hummer up there, I think. And we've completed our emergency operations plan. We also made significant software and system upgrades to the 911 dispatch and also to the municipal court. So what's next for city service delivery? As I said earlier, we're going to complete construction of the Public Works facility to be ready in the summer of this year. We're going to remodel and expand City Hall, and we're going to complete the Justice Center round room, as I said. Now all of that goes with moving out of City Hall into a new facility, continuing to maintain services, being temporarily displaced, and moving back in again. So if any of you are familiar with the moving process, you can imagine what that's going to be like. And we're going to leave the Justice Center with 2 to 3 new offices and training space, which they sorely need. We're expanding utility services to the north and to the east, bringing services to properties recently brought into the city. We have a renewed focus on our airport operations and continued investment in that facility. I believe that the airport is an untapped asset with economic development potential, and it's also very important to emergency management. And speaking of emergency management, our Florence Police Department, again under the leadership of Chief Turner, plans to continue to be a leader for our community and active with our WELOG partner agencies. So I didn't know what a WELOG was, so it's actually the Western Lane Emergency Operations Group. I didn't know what a Vimeo was either, but we're going to get to that pretty soon. Our school resource officer will be in place in our schools during the upcoming school year. Our police department has added a new transportation option for patrols, so you got to watch for this. It's bicycles. Bicycles will allow our officers to be more present during events, and we look forward to seeing them out there during the Rhododendron Festival. But just so you know, I won't be asking for any ride-alongs on a bicycle. So goal number 2 is livability and quality of life. In addition to our amazing staff, we have a very strong volunteer force working at the Florence Event Center, working as police auxiliary members and police reserve officers, and at the senior center. With limited resources, the city also depends on our various committees to be working committees that help staff get projects done and work toward achieving the goals set by the council. Our Community Development Department, led by Planning Director Wendy Farley Campbell, who is here, They're very instrumental in our success in this category. In the last year, they revised Title 10 of the City Code. If anybody knows what that is, it's about that big. They created and streamlined this thing to make over-the-counter land use processes. Because of this, and because of the culture change in our community, they were nominated for the Sius Law Awards Customer Service Award, which is to be next Wednesday, yes.
Tickets are available.
So if that's not, if you think back to what people thought of our service in terms of planning and so forth 2 or 3 or 4 years ago, this is a major change in our culture. We've completed land use and other regulations related to the legalized recreational marijuana industry. We've processed many land use applications with quite a few properties being added to our city. We've enhanced the code enforcement program to address city code and nuisance issues to keep Florence Oregon's premier coastal community. Some additional achievements in this area are park improvements, including 2 pocket parks, soccer goals, and plans for Miller Park improvements. Now, while this was done with very little involvement from the city, we have a new soccer league in Florence that I believe is both great for our kids, and it's also is very supporting of our economic development efforts. The Florence Event Center was able to take advantage of the opportunity to purchase the lot north of the center over here for improved storage and additional parking. The Friends of the FEC, thanks in great part to Jennifer Connor, conducted a very successful public art project and fundraiser called Dancing with the Sea Lions. That was awesome. So what are we going to do this year?
In 20 years.
20 years. That's right. Thanks to Event Center Director Kevin Rhodes and his staff, there is truly always something happening at the Florence Event Center. So what's next for livability and quality of life? We're going to continue to support community groups and grants for parks, such as Miller Park and the soccer program. We're going to support an Aviation Gateway Memorial Park, which is just new on the horizon, thanks to Sam and Terry here. So it's a kind of an exciting proposition. We're going to create a new public park, the Siuslaw River Beach Access off of Rhododendron Drive. Hopefully that will move ahead this year. We're working on a new trail system, the Siuslaw Estuary Trail, connecting back to the boardwalk and to the interpretive center. We're going to expand and improve Gallagher Park as Public Works moves to its new facility. We've heard some good ideas on that, and probably we're looking for volunteers to work on that. We're going to continue to grow our Flow Grow program, which I'm sure you're all familiar with. Work on recycling of yard debris and supporting community activities in those areas. We're doing a housing study to revamp our residential city code to allow for modern styles and types of housing, accessory dwelling units, mother-in-law cottages, higher density, and also to determine where they can be located in Florence. We will complete an economic opportunity analysis for the Florence Comp Plan to determine appropriate places for income-producing properties. As I said, the Florence Event Center will have improvements to the north over here for parking lot and plans to increase storage capacity. Goal number 3 was economic development, or is. And several accomplishments in economic development were realized with the support and work performed by one of the city's newer committees, the Economic Development Committee, under the leadership of Mike Rose. For the first time in many years, we sold a lot in the Pacific View Business Park. Yay! We just got the pump primed. We provided guidance and incentives for this developer, and this demonstrates this culture change and the city's willingness to support projects for job creation. It's one of our first successes in creating jobs that can pay a living wage. So take a look at that. Look at those walls, or you can go up. The factory, it's up on the hill in the business park. So if you get a chance, drive by there and take a look at it. The Revision Florence Highway Improvement Project, first phase of engineering is underway. This will beautify Highway 101 from the bridge and extend to Spruce Street on 126. We're looking for a continued successful interaction with our economic development partners, specifically Lane County, Rain, and South Development Council, South Coast Development Council. Too many acronyms, SCDC. We hired an economic development catalyst, Jesse Dolan. I don't know exactly what a catalyst is, but I think Jesse's becoming one. I think that's good. This is a first for the city of Florence for us to fund an economic development position. So if you've got ideas for economic development, he's here in the audience, so get together with Jesse. We've created a Florence business website to further our efforts to market Florence as a place that's open for business and to say, how can we help you? This was accomplished by the focused effort and determination of our city recorder / economic development coordinator, Kelly Weiss, who at the same time led the redesign of our city website. She's got a lot of hats to wear, so thank you, Kelly. I'm sure you all know that activity has picked up in our community, and you see an increase in both residential and commercial new construction around town. There's a quick snapshot over there to show you a lot of new and improved structures. So what's next for economic development? We'll continue to focus on supporting and growing local businesses all around town and support the Chamber in creating a highway commercial district committee to focus on the needs of businesses north of 9th Street while still maintaining our focus in the urban renewal district. Right?
Round town.
All around town. We will continue marketing of these 5 catalyst sites that we identified in Old Town. We're going to place more emphasis on getting this done as opposed to talking about it. I had an old mentor that told me, talking about it, don't do it. And that went on, but that was the main gist of it. We'll move ahead with Revision Florence, finalizing construction costs and soliciting public input on the gateway and other features. Our Public Art Committee is focused on 5 key projects in 2017. They include 3 of which are art on the bridge steps. I've seen some really interesting concepts for that, and I'm just anxious to see it happen. I like the one where the fish are swimming up the steps, but that's just me. They're working on a mural program, which is exciting, and something called Art Exposed. I keep wanting to turn around and say exposed art, but they tell me it's Art Exposed, and it's a public outdoor gallery of some nature. Now, Joshua Green could give you 15 minutes on it and tell you what it really is, but they tell me it's an outdoor gallery, and that's really good enough for me. That's all I can handle. But great progress by our Public Arts Committee under the leadership of Harlan Springer. We're looking to create a facade program for the Urban Renewal District, which will provide incentives to improve the appearances of businesses. We'll continue marketing and recruitment for Florence, including an emphasis on the Pacific View Business Park. We'll work on business retention and expansion programs, and continue to be a partner with the Chamber of Commerce to support our local businesses. We will market Florence as a place that's open and ready to do business. Goal number 4 was communication and trust. We've had a lot of success in this area in 2016. We've had continuous improvements in communication. We have increased our Facebook followers to over 4,000, thanks in great part to Megan. We're active on Instagram and Twitter, and now here's where we get it, as well as Vimeo. Does everybody know what a Vimeo is? Okay. Well,
There's a link on the website.
there's a link on our website, and by use of that thing, you can watch our city council meetings and meetings such as this, provided by Alan Campbell back there with that big camera. So that's what a Vimeo is. We've got an outstanding monthly newsletter. It's great. If you're not on the email newsletter list and would like to be, there's a sign-up sheet in the middle of your table, so get your email address on there. We've redesigned our website and it looks great. As you all know, we have applied to become a Coast Guard City USA. I've been recently told that the Admiral has signed off of that, the Admiral of the fleet, so it's gone that far and it's now in the hands of a congressional committee in Washington. Now that could be good news or bad news, based on what's going on in Washington, I don't know. But anyway, our senior chief in command of the local station has very high hopes that this will, he says he's 95% confident that our application will be approved. The feedback that came back was it was one of the best, or the best, in terms of quality and content applications that they'd actually received. So once that's approved, in fact, we're already beginning to form our committee and start to talk about how we will do this celebration. As you know, the Coast Guard is the Grand Marshal of our Roadie Parade coming up. It's also their 100th anniversary, and they will be planning a celebration and want to do that in conjunction with our Coast Guard City USA. So we're going to be doing a lot of work on that, and maybe sometime in late summer we'll have that celebration, but it's kind of up in the air right now until we determine if we're going to get it approved. With that, we'll get a great big sign that says Coast Guard City USA, like you see when you drive into Newport. And one of the things that I've been lobbying for many months is to have some kind of port of entry. You know, you go to Newport and they got this big fancy monument that says "Welcome to Newport." That's where they hang their sign, so we need to have something to hang our sign on. So our success in communications and improvement is in large part due to our media partners, starting with Coast Radio. A special thanks to Coast Radio, KCST, first for the Monday 8:30 a.m. Florence Focus with our city manager, and on Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. to hear from the Event Center coordinator, where there's always something happening at the FEC. Thanks to our local newspaper, the Siuslaw News, for faithfully reporting on the business of the city and writing feature articles to tell the story of our city in motion. I just wish they wouldn't put my picture in the paper all the time. My wife says, yeah, sure. Trust has led to strong partnerships. These partnerships that we've built and continue to nurture were objectives of our work plan, and wow, have we succeeded. The success we have experienced this last year as a city has only been achieved by working with our local, county, regional, and state partners. So what's next for communication and trust? We plan to continue timely reporting on city activities and projects. Staff and council will remain committed to involvement in our organizations, both here in town and on a county and state level. We'll continue to market city efforts to always share what's going on. And goal 5 was financial and organizational sustainability. So that's, you don't want to have wine before you give this talk because it's hard to say financial and organizational sustainability 5 times in a row. But our finance department employees, they don't get a lot of recognition, but they're the ones that work behind the scenes keeping our budget on track. So if an army marches on its stomach, then a city marches on its budget. Many thanks to Andy Parks and his staff for keeping us in line. The most significant accomplishment in that department was the amendment of our financing agreement with a blended rate of 2.92% interest for $9.8 million of long-term debt to support the city and urban renewal capital projects. So that's a major accomplishment. So what's next? Our employees make our organization what it is. We could not run the city without them. As we move forward into the coming year, our employees are vital in continuing our financial and organizational sustainability. We are moving to a 2-year planning and budget horizon with the 2017 and 18 work plan adoption scheduled for our next council meeting. Employee recruitment and retention remains a top priority, including the recruitment of an HR manager. We hope for successful negotiation of our police association contract. This is the city's only labor contract. And we will continue to manage city staff in a professional manner that's consistent with industry standards. As we move into yet another budget season, the city will continue to explore financing for streets, economic development, emergency management, and parks while still providing all of our essential services. We will complete the information technology assessment and update our rolling financial forecast or long-term financial plan. So that summarizes the major highlights of 2016 and a snapshot of some of the things we're working on in 2017. We'd like to encourage you all to be informed and stay involved and stay up to date by visiting our website, visit us on social media and Vimeo, of course, and join us on Facebook. If you're not friends with us on Facebook, we'd sure like it if you can get on there and friend us and also share it with your friends, and we can do that exponential thing all over again. Council meetings are at 5:30 on the first and third Monday of each month, and we've recently changed them to 5:30 to make it a little easier for our staff that have families, and also for some of us older people that can't stay up late. We got a great newsletter, and the sign-up sheets are on the table. We have an award-winning budget in brief, thanks again to Erin in her former role as finance director. There are goal cards and pens on the table, so help yourself. And we encourage you to speak to members of the city staff after the meeting, as they're going to stick around for a while and hopefully try to answer any questions. The reason we're doing that is because they have all the answers to the hard questions. So we're not doing questions and answers now, we're going to do them in a smaller setting. When I began my first term as mayor, it was apparent to me that in order for us to accomplish any of the action items in our challenging work plan, that the culture of our council and our administration had to change. Under the leadership of our council and city manager Aaron Reynolds and a very dedicated staff, our volunteers, but most importantly with the support of our wonderful community, that very thing has happened. 2 years ago, if you'd have asked me what I thought my first 2 years as mayor would be like, I would have not even been close. All in all, it's been fun and exciting to be part of moving our city forward. I would encourage our citizens to get involved through our various volunteer opportunities and to join our city in motion. I'm proud to have served as your mayor, and I'm looking forward to my second term. Personally, I have to thank God for His grace and love, which is new each morning, and of course for the love and support that I receive from my wonderful wife, Pamela Henry. And in conclusion, again, I would like to say we truly are a city in motion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. That concludes our formal program.